Well, let's try that again. What is up, YouTube? It is Onion Bomb here, and welcome back to the next part of this Entropy beta Honkai Impact 3rd visual novel. Sorry it has been a bit since I got back to this. I didn't want it to be that long, but it's just how it happened. But yeah, I will try to keep up with it a little bit more. You know, I got this, then we got the Impact 3rd gameplays, and we got some Star Rail stuff. Thankfully for Star Rail stuff, I'm like kind of more focused with that. Like I'm starting with trailers and then worrying about like gameplay and slash lore stuff when that's necessary. But Honkai Impact 3rd kind of got split into like two separate paths, so sorry about that. And Honkai in general got split into like two separate paths. But I've already explained this. But yeah, let's get back to this. I really enjoyed the first part; it was very interesting. Though I was informed that I may have been getting the welts mixed up. Yeah, I thought that this is Welt Joyce, yeah, Welt Yang is the, no, I was gonna say OG, but actually, that would be the, Welt Joyce would be OG, the new Welt, or like what word am I looking for? Like, the more popular Welt, the main Welt? Main Welt? I don't know. There's too many names. There's too little names. Too many characters of the same name. I was like, I remember the story. I thought this was, the first Welt. But I guess no, I thought it was the second Welt. This is the first one. I'm trying. But let's continue where we left off here. W site for remembering. Let's see if I can remember the full screen, and I do. The Imperial Institute. Oh, and, one more quick thing. At the end of this video, I say at the end, but I think it's gonna be the last 20 or 30 minutes. I'm gonna read, like, a document thing I was sent, also by Slime Tensei. It's about, like, it's about, like, lore, pretty much. It's about, Sia Quanta stuff. It deals with Honkai Impact 3rd. I think a little into Star Rail, and they mentioned this other Honkai thing, which I have no idea what that was, but that piqued my interest. So I'm gonna throw it at the end of this video. So we'll see how quick I get through the next chapter, if there's like another chapter thing. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, let's get to this Imperial Institute. Having been driven out of the house by that violent red-haired girl, the pitiful young man now wanders aimlessly around the college, a college with close to 70 years of history. It does look very nice, some nice, some nice buildings. Now we have okay, hurry up, get out and get used to your surroundings. Don't you dare come back before noon. Before noon. He can't fathom why, but even though she's also a member of Schicksal, the feeling of being so cruelly treated by this girl, it doesn't seem that unpleasant to him. Phew. Even now I'm having such mixed up thoughts. The Imperial Institution. In this institution, there are not only low-rise detached buildings like Lab 42, but also several tall towering buildings with molted peeling walls. Close by the pastel green dome of the Queen's Towers, covered with dust and rainwater producing an inaccessibly ugly color and luxury. It is also starting to not be able to. It is as if even on such an uncommonly clear day, it felt the need to mock and remind people of the irksome air pollution that occurs every other weekday. Having been accustomed to the spotless environs of high-end research labs, the young man named Welt Joyce, not Welt Yang, feels oddly comforted by what could be considered at the landmark equivalent of a washed-up celebrity. Although there is no personal freedom in the absolute sense, at least this omnipresent and omnipotent organization has chosen to loosen up for a moment. Well, maybe. Autumn is slowly setting in, and the sun, it makes a futile attempt to imbue some warmth into the cooling, wind-swept earth. Leaning on a marble railing beside a footpath, Welt vigorously pats his cheeks. Or which ones? Better think up something more positive. Take a deep breath. My. Look around. Look at how beautiful the world is. It's a nice place. To the north of the institution is a large expansion of lush and verdant woodland. They say it's famous Hyde Park and Kensington Gardens, but that will probably be of no interest to that particular pair of lady geniuses. For those elites in their ivory tower, I fear that the only method of relaxation that comes to mind is to lean against a garden bench, close one's eyes, and relax. Well, we don't got a garden bench. What about a gaming chair? It's not creative enough. Even leaving Einstein aside, Tesla will definitely be bored out of her mind. Interesting? Mind interesting? London should have no shortage of fun things to do with this thought in mind. Walt decides to go to the library to try his luck and see if there's any information available there. Of course, he can't know that in the future there will be something more convenient like the internet. Oh, hello, librarian. The librarian is a frivolously dressed man wearing a striped shirt, straight sleeve shirt and gold rimmed. Hold on. All right. At risk of sounding dumb, this frivolously, however you say that, I looked up that word to see what that meant. Apparently is an adverb describing actions done without seriousness, sense, or purpose, often characterized by silliness or carefree extravagance. That's frivolously dressed? That's carefree or without seriousness? It looks like a decent outfit to me. It has a tie. Anything with a tie, I mean, isn't that like carefree? I wouldn't think. I guess they mean like with the just tie. I don't know. I don't know. That's an interesting word choice for this moment, but a striped short sleeve shirt with gold rimmed glasses. Sure, just free. What? I don't get. I'll get the word choice. A blind man in his 30s. He opens the conversation with a strange foreign accent. Oh my. Sir, may I ask, do you want to borrow Sumi books? Well, feels he can't quite handle this weird man with his weird accent. Excuse me, are there any books on travel or travel? I thought he was getting. Do we have any? Are there any books here? Come around and what here? In the library? Gee, I don't know. My books on travel. Trivial Guide? It's the kind of book that introduces you to interesting places in London. I have no idea who this guy is. Like, I don't know. That does not really ring any bells. Mr. Goldrim Glasses regrettably throws up his hands. Would you like to go directly to the newspaper room for a look? I'm very sorry, but books like Trivial Guides and the Yellow Pages our library really doesn't have any of those. Or perhaps it is better to say those are completely beyond our hunting range. Mr. Goldrim's spectacles puts on a fake smile with a pained expression, leaving Walt to feel that he himself is the weird one now. I wasn't really expecting much. May I ask where is the newspaper reading room? If I explain it to you directly, you may not get it. Better come with me. Huh? Thanks, and sorry to inconvenience you. What the hell? Where's the newspaper room? If I explained it, you wouldn't get it. Try me. This guy, although he seems a bit pretentious, he does seem like a good person after all. Who'd up? Mr. Goldrim's spectacles is about to lead the way when he suddenly stops as if he remembers something. May I ask, do you have a library borrowing card? What is it? Sorry, no, I do not have a library card. I guess we'll have to sign up for one. Oh, that might complicate things a little. Can we get one? I'm a new assistant with Lab 42, so... What? Lab 42? That's right. Welt doesn't quite understand why Mr. Gold-Rimmed Glasses has suddenly become so serious. Can we get a name on the lad? Oopsie daisies, well, Dr. Einstein, that old geezer, is he keeping well, is he keeping well these days? Oh, old geezer? What are you saying? How can the doctor be an old man? The words old geezer are so startling to Welt that his jaw almost falls off. I'm a little confused now too. Who's he talking about? I thought Einstein was a girl. And even so, she didn't seem that old. Ha, my apologies. Recently there have been scams going on around the school, so we need to stay vigilant. He was testing. Okay, that makes sense. I'm really sorry to have deliberately put you through a test just now. Dr. Einstein had specifically ordered me to, but at that time it didn't have your photo, so Mr. Goldrim Glasses shrugs his shoulders while he continues to smile in his usual manner. To be honest, this method of testing people was really her own suggestion. No problem, I'll get you a research assistant's library card right away. You may borrow whatever book you want. Hey! Mr. Goldrim Glasses nudges his namesake further up the bridge of his nose, while he continues to smile in his usual manner. The Times. is too serious, and the Financial Times completely unsuited for his purpose. But it is within the pages of down-market tabloids like the Daily Herald and the Daily Mirror that he finds some items of interest. At noon, Walt returns from the newspaper room, reviewing his notes in one hand while consulting a borrowed street directory in the other. The British Museum, Great Russell Street, the National Gallery, Trafalgar Square, the Theater District Casino in Chinatown, Leicester Square. Starting with tourist attractions should get me at least a passing score, right? After our tour, I can also invite them to dine at a proper restaurant. Those staff meals delivered to the Institute on weekdays don't taste that great. So I should use this opportunity to improve on that. Hey, we're very much vibing the bread last time. Although local British cuisine is nothing to brag about besides their seafood. The dishes of France, Italy, Turkey, India, and other countries are easy to find and eat. If we go to Chinatown, we also have the choice of Chinese food. Although I am penniless since this is my job, it should be okay for me to be reimbursed, right? And thus, Walt drifts into a state of deep thought, and before he has unknowingly returned to the small courtyard of Lab 42. The detached Lab 42 is a work villa built during the post-war period, so it is sports and it's sports and avant-garde design. Avant-garde design, intriguing both work and living requirements. Hit a wall there. I apologize for that. The ground floor houses a study, workshop, guest room, various kitchen and bathroom facilities, and even a secret warehouse secured with a vault door. The top floor is a residential area where men are forbidden to enter. Well, it is not particularly clear what that area looks like. Then find out. Only the sign is stopping you now. Pink curtains, cream-colored furniture, a room full of sweets and plush toys. No. No matter what, a researcher's room can never be of that decor. Indeed, their private laboratory appears to be on the same floor. Welt, I'm home. Oh no. The last time I gently opened something in a visual novel. Let alone gently open the door. It didn't end well. It didn't end well, you know? Gently opening the villa door, the young man politely greets an empty living room. Oh no, he has maintained this odd habit for as long as he could recall, so that Schuxel had seriously investigated the possibility of him being Japanese. Okay, Einstein, you're alive. How's Tesla? Okay. Well, you came back at the right time, huh? Unexpectedly, from an overlooked corner behind the living room door, the girl with the mop head emerges into the open, closing a book. Did I scare you? No, you didn't. That's good. Then how has your information gathering been going? Not bad. London really does have many places of interest. Mophead's expression is cold, and she doesn't seem particularly satisfied with the young man's response. So what's for lunch today? And with this understatement, she casually tosses out a rather universal and time-honored dilemma. For lunch, I want to have something interesting nearby. Any tips? Nearby. Well, this morning he had been preoccupied with just the literature search and not conducted any sight field visits. The young man breaks out a cold sweat as a newcomer to this place. How could he possibly figure out what restaurants are worth visiting? Yeah, he's still new, right? This is just like day 2, or was there like a time skip? You can never go wrong with dinosaur chicken nuggets. I don't know if they're ever sold at any restaurant, but somehow, some way, well, they will not. And if they do complain about it, they are not to be trusted. Like, you get out of this establishment, get out of this school. Never, ever, ever, ever trust anybody who speaks badly of dino nuggets. Ever. That's a life lesson right there. Can't answer, I see. I mean, what are you hungry for, you know? She is a woman, you know. I don't want this, I want that, you know. Okay. The girl confirms with a blank expression. Embarrassed, the young man shakes his head. Lunch, your treat. He just said he was penniless. With such indifference, the girl casually meets out her punishment. I've made a mistake. The young man bows his head, feeling despondent, feeling himself to be so very useless. At this moment, not to mention how, but it is as though she had expected him to pluck stars from the sky on her behalf. No, you'll only be cheated of this month's allowance, that's all. This month? How expensive is the food around here? What do you mean? Huh? What, am I not just setting you up to fail and get scammed? How could you even have the time to do a pass over the entire Kensington district? Indeed. The girl gently mocks and pities the fool who had just been the target of her own teasing. So she's just Josh. Okay, she's Josh. Today we shall have pasta. Okay, pasta. While speaking to herself, she takes off her white coat and throws it on the sofa. I mean, what kind of pasta? We just classic spaghetti, or we got some like fettuccine alfredo, or some of like the one with like the vodka sauce kind of thing, or and what kind? We got rigatoni, got the angel hair, or we got like what kind of pasta we got? What linguine? What pasta we going with? I guess that's to be determined at the restaurant. Or what about SpaghettiOs? By the way, they got Chef Boyardee. Tesla is still sleeping in and we need not to worry about her. It is normal for her time to be awake or asleep at any time. There are snacks in the fridge. We also have a microwave oven, no problem. In this rare instance, the young girl blurts out everything she needs to say in a single breath. With one hand, she picks up her purse, and with the other, she pulls on the doorknob. No matter, today is your first day. Please do not think I'd be so easily angered. She takes out a key and begins to lock up the front door. Oh, this is the V&A Museum. They serve food here. That is the Holy Trinity Church. Oh, Jesus. With her messy hair swaying hair and an expressionless demeanor, the young lady continues her guide tour alongside the young man. Though those not familiar with the situation would probably mistake them for a pair of long-lost siblings, somewhat strangled. I say that right? The A is an initial for Albert, from my own name. Ah. Huh? Fooled you. As I just said, I was like, her name's Albert? What? Since when? But okay. She's getting one out, or she's like fooling me too. Like, relax. Hee. Her face. Guess I didn't really fool you. Huh? Forget it. It's just a silly coincidence. Oh yeah, I forgot about these. No. Prince Consort Albert, full name Francis Albert Augustus Charles Romeo, was Queen Victoria's husband. The V&A Victoria and Albert Museum was named after the royal couple. In England, there is a series of landmarks and institutions named after Albert. They were all established by the Queen to commemorate Prince Albert after he had passed away. Okay. So if I missed those, I kind of forgot what that was. Hasn't the same conversation been repeated several times already? From the Royal College of Music to Prince's Gardens, to the Science Museum, to the Natural History Museum. She wouldn't be finding this all that enjoyable, would she? It seems that like it's already been half a year since I've taken such a long walk. The girl lazily stretches and speaks without looking back. Work has been rather busy of late. The young man does some quick mental estimates and realizes that the pair had only walked a little over a kilometer. That was quite the yawn. That sounds like it came directly from a CD-ROM. Like it had that like tinge to the audio, and that like felt like it sounded like it was right from a CD-ROM. That was funny. Every day I work roughly 3 to 4 hours. The young woman does an even lazier yawn than before. But isn't that just a half day of work? So clearly you don't understand what I mean. It is possible that when it comes to a brain-taxing occupation such as a scientist, working for 4 hours is already tiring enough. But in the previous labs, those people were undoubtedly working day and night, alone, weren't they? Here we are. While the young man is mulling over his confusion, the rough mess of hair besides him comes to an abrupt stop. Cafe Concentro? Didn't we say we were going to have pasta? Well, here's an Italian restaurant. The girl points to the tiny blackboard at the entrance of the restaurant. The names of the dishes on it are indeed Italian. But what is an Italian restaurant doing with such a name? Yeah, interesting. Like, it's a cafe. The decorative artwork, bottles of champagne, shelves of desserts. Despite bearing a corny name like Cafe Concentro, the place does indeed does indeed look like part of an Italian restaurant. The young man and the young lady sit down at a table. The interior feels pleasantly warm, so the pair immediately take off their coats. I rather fancy that strawberry cake. Just that one, that'll be enough. I'll have... Wait, didn't you say you wanted to eat pasta? That was just a figure of speech. What? Yeah, I want to eat pasta. But I just felt like having cake all of a sudden. I mean, pasta cake. I mean, maybe it's the same thing. It has both contain the letter A. That's about it. But close enough. The waiter is looking at you. Oh, I'll have this baked snail. And I also have the seafood stew pasta. Oh, that's all. Baked snail. I can't play at this. I'm done. I can't play this. Well, what do we do? We're eating snails, bro. I've never had snails, but I can't bring myself to eat snails. I'm sorry. Any sort of bugs or kind of like that's a little much. That's a little much. I don't think I'll ever try those. The waiter walks away satisfied with the order. The young girl, having nothing to do, gazes out of the windows as if contemplating some question of philosophy. Oh my goodness! Can I read? Sorry, philosophy. Her deep blue eyes roll round, doll-like face topped by her fair natural curls. If it were not for that terrible hairstyle, she could easily have been an exemplar of beauty. That terrible hairstyle. It is while musing in such a disorganized way that the young man, now known as Welt, has come to realize something. This is probably the first time he has ever paid close attention to the looks of this lady genius, Dr. Lazaro Albert Einstein. Okay, Albert's her middle name. No doubt she has the legendary temperament of a crazy scientist, yet at the same time she also seems to pull off the girl next door act. I'll bet one who enjoys teasing his poor pitiful self. Eyes, me? Sorry, it's just accidentally said it out loud. So wait a minute. Time. Hold on. Now that I'm saying, now that I know this is like not the this is the very first Welt and not like the second Welt. I'm pretty sure Einstein and Welt, but not this Welt. I didn't think this Welt eventually became a thing. Does this happen? Am I mixing up the Welts with that too? I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait and see. Or someone can tell me in the comments. Either way, I'll wait to see what happens there. I feel that using nicknames may help the flow of our conversation, but it does seem rather bizarre pulling off like someone's surname. I don't mind, as long as you like it, it's fine. Really? Then I must really thank you. The young man glances left and right, rubbing his ears and cheeks in embarrassment. In fact, I do have a question to ask, though it may be rude of me. Actually, before a lady is even more impolite. Sorry. At this moment, the young man feels as if his mind had just boarded the wrong train. Just asking about someone's daily habits, nothing more. Why does one have to be so embarrassed? Dr. Einstein, 51 years old. Nonetheless, it seems that she too has misjudged what I meant by speaking rudely. Wait, what? 51 years old? Dang. Wait a minute, hold on. I gotta show the whole thing. Oh, that's a funny face. A little slow on the uptake. The young man has to use both hands to keep his jaw from dropping to the ground. Just pulling your leg. If you divide by 3, it should be just about right. I cannot do the math in my head like that. Divide by 3. 51 divided by 3? 17! Now that seems too young. I don't know. I guess in this time, this is like very early. I'm not, not nothing crazy. It's just making me feel unk. I don't know. I didn't think I was the oldest one on the screen right now. I guess I am at 26. Hold on. 51 divided by 3. 6 times 8 is 48. 48 divided by 3 is 16. 16 times 9 is 54. 54 divided by 3 is 18. So 51 divided by 3 is 17. Dr. Einstein is 17 years old? That is a crazy path, how he got there. Thank God for calculators. On mine had the same thing. A doctorate degree as a minor? So how old is Walt now? Wait, did it say in the beginning? He's like in his 20s, I think. Maybe? Now I'm out. Can't I? This is not a matter of can or can't. While we're on the topic, Dr. Tesla is 4 years older than me, and she's an adult, if you really want to know. So she's 21? Why does the way you put it make her seem like she's socially inept for her age? It's not like Walt is any better. I wish to resume admiring the scenery for a moment, so please refrain from talking to me for now. Okay. It is rare for the weather to be as good as today's. Huh? You probably didn't know, but recently I've been trying to keep myself from spouting too much nonsense. My grandfather once said, success is equal to genius plus sweat plus less spouting of nonsense. Yet, for some time now, you've been the one spewing out nonsense. What sort of character trope or setting are you going for? Are you the quiet and reserved type, or the chatty and catty type? Dr. Einstein doesn't understand what you mean by character trope. And for a brief moment, Walt catches a glimpse of a devilish grin. But she is messing around right now. Oh. It's the librarian returning from the Cafe Concerto, whatever, I don't care. Walt and Einstein incidentally find the blonde-haired librarian with the striped short-sleeved shirt and gold-rimmed glasses at the doorway of Lab 42. Ah, dear Einstein, you're back. What is this guy's name? I don't think I know him. Unless somehow the way this man waves to the girl suggests they are very familiar with each other. A hint of aversion flutters in Wilt's heart. What's the matter? Finn? Is that his name? Finn? Finn. No wonder this guy wears only short sleeves in winter and speaks English with such a strange accent. If he is from Finland, that is not surprising at all. Okay, so did she name him like that, like she named Will? Okay, so it's winter, and it's in she's in short sleeves. So that's bringing it back to the beginning. What was the word again? It was like some F word. I think frivolously. That's so it's winter. I mean, listen. I'd be wearing this sleeveless. I'd be wearing it if I'm just in the house. I'd be wearing it when it's the winter. I still wear short sleeves in the winter too. I don't really own long sleeves. Is that weird? I don't like long sleeves. I don't know. It's a little too much. Like I'll just keep the jacket on if it's cold. Like I have jackets are fine. I wear jackets and hoodies, but long sleeve shirts. I haven't owned one of those in a while. Is that weird? That might be weird. I don't know. But Finn, I don't remember this guy at all from anywhere or anything or in any lore video. It is said that when the temperature reaches freezing point, they are still flipping summer sausages in the backyard. Finland! Though that's probably just a joke from some newspaper. No, for such a there is a frivolous man, can't say for sure. An urgent matter concerning Lab 42. The frivolous man pulls out an airmail envelope from a folder. Understood. Her enthusiasm warning, Einstein reaches for the letter with her left hand while fumbling for the keys with her right. They sent a telegram earlier today informing us that they wish you check it out as soon as you receive it. They said you'll most certainly be interested in its contents. My headphones are dying. Instantly, Einstein's right hand stops groping for the key. Her expression seems a little impatient. Help me tear it open. Is that okay? My security clearance level. I said, help me tear it open. Haha, it may be strange for me to say so, but if it were a highly classified letter, it would never be delivered by someone at my rank. The Finn pushes his gold. The Finn pushes his gold-rimmed glasses while interjecting in an affected manner. Okay, let me open it. Walt avoids giving the attention-seeking man a single glance. Yo, Walt is not a fan of Finn. He is not a fan of Finn. Einstein, my established esteemed senior colleague, I trust you've been well since we last met. Recently over here, we've come across a rather excellent ancient pastime. If you are interested, please make sure you find a day to come and play. I guarantee you'll be awfully excited. As far as for work-related matters, I ought to be able to help you, yes? Your junior colleague who looks forward to welcoming you. Schrodinger 1016 billions Montana. Well, there was some code in that one. It is a curious situation. The contents of the letter seem rather carefree and casual, but it contains some rather cryptic code. Why did she so specifically... The music scripted. To Walt's surprise, Einstein solemnly hands the papers back to Finn. Why? He's not trustworthy. This is Ada's real name, yes? Her slender finger points to the string of unintelligible code that is... Goalpost. Field goal. Uh-huh. She should know the name Ada. Why do they need to consult this person? Could he be some expert in some field? Who's Ada? Ada. What exactly happened? This person, Schrodinger, she would never cause trouble if there wasn't anything. Einstein suddenly seems to understand something. Finn, go now and arrange for a flight. We need to board the next plane to Billings. Welt! Yes, ma'am. Probably influenced by the sudden imposing manner of the young woman, the new lab assistant stands to attention just like a soldier and subconsciously salutes, although he quickly puts his hand back down. Don't worry about the small details. Quickly, go upstairs and wake up Tesla. 203. Me? Ian's too busy and can't come. Ignoring the dumbstruck Welt, Einstein opens the front door of the lab, then bolts towards the corridor on the right side of the ground floor. Where all that stands is a giant vault door. And that's the new chapter. Ooh. So something going down? Ada? ADA? Ada boy. That is someone I don't recognize. And, we met Finn. That's a new character, I believe. If I am misremembering and Homu Labs went over this in a video, I apologize, but I do forget. But I remember the important people. I didn't mix up the Welts, but I remember the important people like Einstein and Tesla. Schrodinger, I can't remember a face, but if they have Tesla and Einstein, I would imagine Schrodinger. I think that sounds familiar, but I can't know if it's just because that's an actual scientist as well, or if there is a character that I remember them mentioning. So interesting. They're out to Montana, out to the States. That was good though. These are fun. This is fun, and this is the chapters end on a perfect amount of time. It's perfect time for a video in. I am going to, like I said, insert that thing, the reading thing, in a second here. But I am for this visual, and I'm gonna stop there. I feel like a new chapter is a good stopping point, and we'll be back, next time. But yeah, this is very cool. This is the earliest point of Honkai lore with something, right? It's very earlier than the start of the game, I'm sure. And this was the first thing he ordered the list of the manga stuff. So I'm assuming this is the earliest point of Honkai content, story-wise. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't know. But yeah, pretty cool. Let me just get this to a save point. Compared to the tidy, orderly ground floor. The private space on the top floor is quite simply hell on earth. So we're gonna be entering Tesla's room next time. So yeah, pretty cool. Thank you guys for tuning out today. It's a stream. Thank you for watching this. And if it tickles the interest, stay tuned for this lore thing I'm about to read. I had some interesting things. So yeah, let's get to that. Shout out to him. But it was told to put this in the next Honkai Impact 3rd video. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to put this. I think I'm going to put it at the end of the next Entropy visual novel, which I have up because I want the audio kind of to be playing. I kind of like that, like the background noise. Because this is going to be kind of like reading kind of thing. I'm either going to put it at the end of that video, or I'm going to put it at the end of the next gameplay video of Honkai Impact 3rd. One of the two, I'm putting it somewhere. I think this is going to take a few minutes to get through, so yeah, without further ado, let's get started. We got the origin. There were two I'm off to a terrible start, I'm sorry. Two cosmological structures that were the origin of the universe theorized by the characters in the game series, the Honkaiverse. The imaginary tree and the Sea of Quanta. The tree and the sea bars image represent the fundamental dualism of the Honkaiverse, order and chaos, stability and entropy, with all existence emerging from their presumed internal conflict from the perspective of the mortals observing them, but for the two, it's not conflict by symbiosis. A symbiosis that affects the state of the universe. Civilized life forms, they could be destroyed or or thrive under this conflict. Imaginary tree. Summary: it is an infinite tree that contains everything in the universe. The tree has invisible barriers, imaginary internal energy that envelope many other small cosmological structures, galaxies, star systems, planets, or continent-sized starships. These are what we call worlds. Worlds can be of any size and travel between other worlds in virtually impossible, where other worlds is the travel between other worlds is virtually impossible through brute strength, unless you have a special power that can manipulate imaginary energy, the energy that it produces. The tree is a vast I am so sorry. I am tripping over everything. Fractal-like structure where each leaf or bud represents a complete world or timeline, and the branches symbolize different civilizations or eras. Function: it has dominance over imaginary energy. Entities that have the power to manipulate this energy can be used by them in a different way from just forming barriers. The tree serves as the origin of all stable worlds and civilizations, which manifest as branches, forms of civilization. Buds, past, present, etched in time. Twigs, world lines, and leaves, proper worlds. Entities. Many entities under the imaginary tree have the power. I got the power to manipulate the energy it produces. These include ions and those under the influence. Under their influence, the cocoon of finality and its projections. The imaginary energy that these entities manipulate manifest in a completely different function, like paths, Honkai energy, and planes. Relationship. The tree and the sea feed each other, and in turn both grow. Sea of Quanta. Summary: it is predominantly chaotic. Sea of infinite, predominant sea, chaotic sea of infinite possibilities, and entropy. The counterpart to the tree from which unstable remnants, but buttle words worlds Buttle worlds drift after being pruned as fallen leaves, as projected by higher beings after hitting a proper world. These bubbles house decayed worlds of varying scale, governed by quantum fluxes rather than stable physics, with travel equality premise without quantum manipulation. Function: it holds dominance over quantum energy, which entities can harness beyond more chaotic erosion. It recycles failed worlds, spawning quantum shadows while engaging in the symbiotic cycle with the tree, eroding leaves to fuel its waves, absorbed back to sustain mutual growth. Entities. Many entities born from or dwell in the sea manipulate quantum energy, manifesting as ethereal phenomena like quantum shadows. So far, there are no higher dimensional beings in the Sea of Quanta compared to the imaginary tree with eons and the the cocoon. Relationship: the tree and the sea feed each other, in turn both grow. We do not know the universe started before or after these two structures were spawned, because there was no concept of time before the universe. Characters have no idea what came first. The imaginary tree is what we call the universe. This is assumed by the characters in the game. The reason for this is because time flows through the trunk of the imaginary tree, branching into all worlds and defining casualty, space, and existence itself, rendering any prior state at temporal and unknown observer confined within the leaves. You know what? Maybe I should. Yeah, it's probably better for you guys if I do that. The Honkai series has something called Unreliable Narrator, where the story involves guesswork and assumptions compared to historical facts for the lore of the story. In the Honkai series, this trope permeates the lore delivery with high-level cosmology and events revealed through fragmented character logs, speculative theories from limited perspective mortals, confined to individual worlds, and foster an atmosphere of perpetual guesswork and assumption over definitive historical fact, while enabling narrative flexibility through retcons framed as misinterpretation. Expansion. Imagine, even though the imaginary tree is named a tree, it is not really a tree. This is a more so metaphor for mortals to understand a higher dimensional constructive. It would be like thinking of heaven and hell, but we as humans have no idea how to comprehend those places. We believe in eternal paradise or eternal punishment from both, but we cannot comprehend how that will be given. It is only possible to theorize that it is the same thing that is happening here. The imaginary tree is more explained like a tree because of its function, and not because of its looks. Heck, even it looks are irrelevant because it manifests itself on however there is to perceive it. Regional point of the tree splits into okay. Oh yeah, heard a space station, and then Honkai Impact third wheel. What wheel? I keep world, and then Jarl 6. I think that's what it's called. The tree has a total dominance over the control of concepts that make up the universe. So that if someone wills it, they can overturn past events completely, shred the past from enough energy to change the past. You can do that. Sacrifice your very existence to make a new timeline. You can do that. Many others aren't explored, so you cannot figure out what you can do with it. It's still hidden to players, and the conditions for each manipulation are unknown. So that's what Otto did, correct? To have a new timeline with Callan. Presents progression forward. Eons are like deities of each concept of philosophy. For example, the electrical elation, Zippy the harmony, Ian the order, Fuli the remembrance, Nine the nihility, etc. You're gonna have to forgive me. We have no clue how powerful they are at their peak. We can only speculate based on their shown feats. That thus, for each ion has power to grant a divine gaze on anything, and that thing would become an emanator as extensions of themselves as an individual. Emanators are no servants of their eons, since to how striders are not that they're not that to their god. Eons can just grant power to those they find in the cosmos, most gifted with their power of philosophy, and thus gift their power to them. Emanators of a certain path can turn on their eon and join another eon of a different path, and that is not considered a betrayal because they were never loyal in the first place. Some exceptions to this rule: an eon is the embodiment of their philosophy, so they cannot stray from it. Once they have ascended to eonhood, they walk to the path for eternity, and that is why it is named path. Eons can cease to exist once they've tried or absorbed by a broader path, harmony and order, what's narrower and what's broader between the two. In the lore of the game, harmony fused with order, and now order is gone from the universe. Factions also form under certain paths, but these factions have differing interpretations of philosophy that just how mortals operate. Interesting. And those are the eons. That's Star Rail. So this is like an Impact Third and Star Rail kind of thing together. Now we got the Sea of Quanta. Similar to the tree, the sea is also a metaphor for its existence, and it is also the more obscure of the two structures. And that is because the sea is the space in between the dimensions of the worlds that are separated by the imaginary barrier. We have no idea how true this is. This is only theorized thus far. In worlds that only the tree is prevalent, the imaginary energy and its functions are the only thing manifesting in its physical plane. In the physical plane, if they are balanced, they are balanced or close to a balance, the sea will manifest itself in the universe like the tree, even if they don't exist in a physical plane. The sea will begin dissolving less connected words to the imaginary tree. That's why leaves are the metaphors for the worlds in this cosmology. If the sea is the only thing prevalent, if that's possible, because we have no POV of that example yet. Because remember, if the tree is in order, what does chaos do? But we do have worlds that do indeed get shown to be borderline dissolving and absorbed completely by the sea. Not much lore regarding this matter. There are no higher entities in the sea shown just yet. There are beings like Sa, which I believe that's Sa, which absorb the sea energy to become a deity, but Saw this functions like the cocoon of finality, an imaginary entity, because Saw tries to mirror it to try and replace it someday. So even if the energy is different just by the function alone, Saw will still be considered to be an imaginary entity. The cocoon of finality should be a higher being compared to eons in strength, even if they are not restricted by the path works. Saw is still weaker than the cocoon by less than 1/10 of its power, and they were absorbing quantum energy for 250 million years, and they are still that weak. Good goodness, that is a strong thing. That's not that. Yeah, no, 200 is still that weak. Dang, crazy. The cocoon is different. The cocoon of finality, similar to eons, the cocoon is a higher being with the ability to manipulate certain functions of the imaginary tree. So far, the authority of the finality is only shown to have power over time, but that's not the limit. In my opinion, in the lore, its projections is different. Its projection in different planes of dimensions, power over 12 mortal type of authorities. But that's just the current cycle. It had previous cycles in solar system alone, and it spent 1 billion years in the solar system alone to experiment with its civilizations because of its authority of time. It took over the world of solar system and localized its time compared to outside universe. It's made it not sink and in imperceptible to the other higher beings, even though the universe outside should only have lore up to 250k thousand plus. The cocoon made a 1 billion world. In the solar system, the cocoon visited Mars, Venus, and Earth, both Mars and Venus having lost its history due to the cocoon. The reason Saul wanted to try and replace the cocoon is because they were Venusian back then, and she had lost her everything. Ironically, though enough, Saw is starting to become like the cocoon in its actions because of her own divinity, a machine that only has logic and no morals. The cocoon can reset a planet and its civilization every 50,000 years because that is the amount of time that it thinks every civilization must become advanced enough to be incorporated into itself. The cocoon is Kardashev scale entity, type 4 or more, where a civilization became a high enough entity to control the concept of being by being fused, merged, linked together to form a type of hive mind which seeks other civilizations to become like its reasons. Like it reasons? No idea. Story. The Honkai unfolds two current live series games: Honkai Impact 3rd, Honkai Star Rail, and the upcoming Honkai Nexus anima. What is that? Is that the new game, or each a distant leaf expanding lore via patches, events, and crossovers, while correcting assumptions through the unreliable narrator. These games are consistently being expanded with new lore, consistently being updated with corrections of new lore, and consistently being in connected for the bigger universe at large. Just like real life, you learn something new every day, new discoveries and everything. Honkai Impact 3rd, current such previous era, Earth Leaf. Summary: This game has 3 different types of historical data. First is the history of the solar system, where each planet was visited by the cocoon. Second is the history of each individual planet that fought and struggled to survive. And third is the cycles to reset for each planet. Mars was visited 1 billion years ago, and who knows for how long it got put through the cycle of rebirth before it got abandoned. Venus was visited 250 million years ago, and where Sol was from, and now Earth, which is from 65 billion years ago, the meteor that hit Earth that wiped out the dinosaurs, R.I.P., is the cocoon. Oh, did they say that? But that kind of sounds familiar. But that's crazy. The cocoon killed the dinosaurs. Each planet called the cocoon differently because the cocoon had different iterations of how it will try to embrace merge with different civilizations. For no idea for Mars, no idea for now. For Venus, the abyss. For Earth, the Honkai, and that's where the name Honkai comes from. We found out that Honkai is just what the imaginary energy is called in the hands of the cocoon. POV. The story starts at Earth, where Part 1 is held. Honkai Impact 3rd has 3 parts for now, and each part focuses on the 3 planets. Part 1, Earth, took over 60 years to complete. Part 1.5, Venus, took almost 1 year to complete. Part 2, Mars, is so far ongoing and is in its 2nd year so far. Part 1 of Honkai Impact 3rd focuses on the previous era and the current era. PE found a way to somehow save a bit of its legacy for its current era, because usually once rebirth it has been activated, your whole era is gone from history. For the past civilization of Earth to manage to exactly prevent its complete annihilation from finality in a stellar feat in my opinion. Interaction: as the main cast, we find the history of Earth and the Honkai from PE. Of course, we start off with CE and gradually increase the lore we find sets back the struggles PE faced for CE, it to not repeat to its mistakes. P sacrificed so much for the future that it did not come, and as a last resort, they had to bet on a new era to succeed. Important. So far, only Honkai Impact 3rd has Siaquan in its lore. I would assume the Honkai Star Rail has Tree 2 too much to stabilize the space, preventing the sea from being manifested in its greater universe. At first, we're like 3 parts. We're like, oh, part 1.5. I was going to say, I think there's part 3 yet. Honkai Star Rail, Macro Leaf Traverse. Summary: this game has the greater universe as its lore. It has the Dusk, Leviathans, Eons, Paths, Factions, Manitors, and Pathstriders. These are not in the lore of Honkai Impact 3rd because of its world being isolated by Cocoon's authority. Each Eon, it follows a singular path. Eons ascend from a moral or object as long as it is sentient, but using their philosophy as the fuel for their ascension. A path can exist independently. Ow! I just kicked something. Independently with its eons but I like kicked the hard drive and like stabbed my foot right in the corner. Ow. If powerful for paths, well, we still lost my place too. A path can exist independently of its eons while still alive, but once an eon of certain path is gone, the path will still function as the source of power for path striders. Each function has their own interpretation of a path, and as such, as some factions following the same path might be enemies or allies with each other, with their own singular goal. Commanders are elite path striders empowered by an eon direct gaze, granting them vastly amplified godlike authority over the past concepts as near extensions of the eon. Pastors are mortals who resonate with an eon's path via personal will or uh, philosophy, drawing imaginary energy to wield tide abilities without direct Eon intervention. POV. The lore unfolds from Herta Space Station's initial Stellon outbreak as escalating through Yarl 6. I forget how you say that, it's not right though. Where Trailblazer followers clashed with Destruction's Antimatter Legion amid eternal winter to Jingzhou rule, where Hunt Path Striders battle abundance plagues and the destruction emanator interaction. As the main cast, we find the impact of the path's authority over the universe and how others cope. And points. Lore of HSR started to converge with Impact 3rd Lore of Part 2. There are remembrance, elation, and permeance in the soul system now. And I remember hearing about that towards the end of the playlist, and that's kind of why I started getting back into Star Rail and like really got into Star Rail a lot. Now we have HNA, Nexus Leaf. I have no clue for now. All I know is that there are 81 planes that is part of the new world, but there was an old world where the planes were two sides the same coin. Example, life and death, order and chaos, and the rulers of the old world were called sovereigns. The new world called novarchs, and the world ender that might be the 81st. Interesting. So HNA, is that a new game? Nexus Anima. I'd never heard about that. I don't know if that's a new game or like, you know, are they making like an anime or something? It's under games and lore. I'm assuming it is gonna be story. That's interesting. Hey, I'm down for it. They've cooked twice so far. I really like in Star Rail a lot, and I really love Honkai Impact 3rd as well. Love the story. Love the characters of both of these. So I trust, and if they're making a new one, that's awesome. If they make a new one though, I'm jumping on that. Like I'm definitely I'm gonna be on that day one because I missed too much of Star Rail and Impact. I was way too much of Impact. I was way too late on that. Impact 3 is really like done. I got on it when Part 2 just like started, and Star Rail I'm even like pretty late on. But if there's gonna be a new one, I am with it. That's very interesting. And yeah, shout out to Slime Tensei for this. Of course, I went through this. Some of this stuff was touched upon via the playlist, but this was a good summary and a really good thing to put together. I have no idea if Slime Tensei wrote this themselves, but with all like put this together. But if you did, thank you, because this is really good. And yeah, I'm sorry that took me a little bit. It took me about like 30 minutes to get through. So I tried to I didn't want to like rush through it, but I also didn't want it be so long that it would be its own video. I mean, I guess it could be, but I don't think that was the intent for this. But yeah, cool. This really puts things like in perspective with the Sea of Quanta and Imaginary Trees. They're just like. Well, that's just how we talk. Like heaven and hell is a very good analogy for these. Like it's just like, what we to sort of easier to understand and like maybe visualize an idea, even if it's not like a 1-to-1, just for understanding purposes. But yeah, the entire lore of Honkai Impact Third and Honkai Star Rail in a nutshell, and maybe a new coming game, Nexus. So cool, very cool. Yeah, that was a good read. That was a good read. Yeah, there's crazy lore in these games. Crazy lore in these games. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Alrighty, now that is going to do it for me entirely. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. You know it's always up to you. I will see you guys in the next video you watch of me. A good boy.